But as a black male growing up, I remember playing like Little League football. You'll get hurt. You get your bell rung, like they used to say. And what's the first thing you hear coming out of the stands? Get up, you're all right, nothing wrong with you. Get
masculinity.
Up, yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, it's a big.
That role that you
it's
you had to take on. And it stuck with me for so long that no matter what, oh, you're all right, you'll get up. You're all right, you get up. I get my feelings hurt. I can't cry about it. I'm all right, I'll get up, dust it out. And the thing is, I just kept, pushing it down, suppressing it. And then, honestly, one day I just had like an eruption. Like I was in the military, someone said the wrong thing to me, and man, it went off. It was off. Like,
did you put your hands on them? Did you put the paws on them?
I was.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Dear Mrs. Bill Collector, I know you're just doing your job, don't mean to disrespect you, but we've been going through this thing since way back. I told you when I get the dough, I would pay back, but I got problems, baby. Yeah, if you only knew, I got bigger problems, baby. Yeah. Hey, so why you talking about the money that I...
Greetings. Welcome to Words, Wine, and Purpose. This is a special edition. Words, beer, and purpose, because I forgot the wine. So we only have beer. So we're going to make it work. I have the luxury of introducing you to my brother, a great friend of mine, my fraternity brother, Corey LeGrand. So Corey, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Hi everyone, my name is Corey LeGrand. I have a podcast called BreakTime. I'm the host of it. It airs every Tuesday. You can catch us via SoundCloud. You can just type in my name, Corey LeGrand, that's CoreyLegrand in SoundCloud, and then my station will pop up. Or if you follow me on IG, my IG handle is legendary_LG. And you'll get all the latest shows, and as a matter of fact, we're featuring him on this new episode, so definitely tune in if you can.
Yeah, we just got done with a awesome podcast. This podcast is typically around 15 to 20 minutes, but it was so good, we went almost about 30 minutes. We had a very, very good conversation about high school students and college students and me teaching at the collegiate level. So tune in. What I'll do is I'll actually post the link in the bio so you guys could actually listen to the podcast. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay. So Corey, you started this podcast named BreakTime. What's the purpose and what's your goal with BreakTime?
That's a good question to ask. Well, the story of BreakTime, how it all came together, was actually I was going through a time of turmoil when I was just trying to find work. I was unemployed. I didn't understand, like, how is it possible that I went to college, got a bachelor's degree, did my time in the military, got a master's degree, and I'm unemployed. That doesn't make sense. All this money that's been invested, nothing's coming forth with it. So I spent a lot of my time just sitting at the house, like just talking to myself while trying to figure out how the next bills were gonna get paid. And just like, man, this time that I'm not working, I need to make it count. What can I do to make this time count? And I was like, it'd probably be interesting. People would like to hear about my story, how I got here, my struggles, my day-to-day struggles. I used to get frustrated with my friends, but it's like, oh man, I had a bad day at work. And I'd be like, at least you working. I'm on the couch. I want to see about every single episode of like Judge Judy and all these other, sitcoms that come throughout the day. So I wanted to tell people my story, but also use that energy that I had of trying to find a job and pass it on to someone else. What works and what doesn't. I even had an episode where I spoke about this. I've applied to 58 jobs. 58 jobs.
Did you sleep?
Nah, I didn't sleep.
Did you eat?
As bad as I wanted to work, that stuff will have to come later, and that can also have like a really bad impact on you mentally and health.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So since the creation of BreakTime, my ongoing goal is to people that at work that aren't happy, trying to find silver linings behind that, living a healthier lifestyle at work. Because in all honesty, most of us that are gainfully employed spend 40 hours a week working. That's 160 hours a month. That's 1,920 hours out of the year. That is a chunk of your life. And during that time, there's a lot of things that can happen that can change your perspective on things and how you treat people.
Wow, when you qualify it like that, Yeah, that's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of time away from your family and self-care. So hopefully my goal will definitely inspire those that are going through it to let you know, like, you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I worked for crappy bosses. I've been the token black guy at a job and had to kind of dull myself down so I could fit in and not offend people. I've witnessed some crazy stuff as well. And also, more importantly, like, ultimately, I definitely want to have my own career career fair. I post a lot of career fairs around the city.
I noticed that. You do that a lot on Instagram, and I big respect. Corey, you be trying to look out for the people. You post a lot of career fairs that are in cities like Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and whatnot, and Miami. So he's trying to help people out there who are looking for jobs. So I think he doesn't have to do that. So I don't know anybody that I follow or who follows me that does that on social media. So shout out to you for that, man.
Appreciate it. Hopefully one day I can host my own and have some cool gigs in there, and I definitely teach them some other stuff as well, as far as resume writing, cover letter, how important a cover letter is, and being on time and good stuff like that. So
Awesome.
that's definitely where I want to take it.
So Corey, you're currently enrolled. You're currently pursuing a Ph.D.
Correct.
And it covers some of the aspects of mental health.
Yes.
So could you touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. Like I said before, just in the working environment, I'm actually studying industrial and organizational psychology. First and foremost, to have a person who looks like me that's in that field is almost an anomaly. You don't see too many.
I don't know Eddie. He's the only one I know.
And because, but for real though, like, I think we need more representation.
I didn't
in
even
that
know it
field.
exists. I'm just being real with you.
Okay? But I really think that we need more representation in that, because I feel that the minorities, when it comes to work, are the most impacted. We had that one situation where the young lady who scored those high SAT scores, and they questioned her, and they actually they declined her scores, they wouldn't allow her to retake it. Yeah. Like, just imagine the mental stress and the anguish that she's been through, just the work that was initiated in that. And there's a lot of us.
Draining.
And it's just like, and that's just a case example. There are other people that look like us, men and women, that are going through stuff at work and they have nowhere else to return to except for IG, which is not the best thing.
It's not the smartest thing to do.
But again, IO psychology does focus on workplace balance. So your life in and out outside of work, how's that balanced out? We also talk about just the overall environment of work. People think about human resource management. There's a lot of intricacies that go within human resource management. IO psychologists are also responsible for creating tests. And I feel that as an IO psych and my struggles of taking tests, if I was to be able to create tests for people like me, but still get the same goal as a regular SAT, we'll at least be on the same playing field. I firmly believe that with the vernacular that these tests that they have on these tests, that sometimes our kids can't really connect because of the verbiage and some of those situations, like the word problems and the critical thinking. It's like, well, little Johnny's gone through X, Y, Z. Well, I don't know. Corey ain't never been through that. I've never left the state of Florida, so I don't know how much it's going to cost for me to drive a car from here to New York.
Good point.
And simple questions like that are very, very important. And as far as creating an equal playing field for all.
Okay, thank you for that. So we've dipped into mental health a little bit. So let's talk about mental health from a black male standpoint.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, and what's your experience, and what's your, have you experienced it yourself? And you are a father, and has your son, been to that state yet of experiencing some type of trauma that deals with mental health, or anything positive in terms of mental health?
Right. I'm real careful about mental health. Sometimes the society, what really irks my nerves as a psychologist, is that not all bad behavior is attributed to mental health, because sometimes these people who know what they're doing and are committed to doing some type of heinous crimes are now classified with people who sincerely have problems. Yeah. So I get really upset when they're like, oh yeah, this person has mental health, and then they're classified as a schizophrenic. And in all honesty, people that suffer from schizophrenia, they're only a danger to themselves.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people that don't know that, and we have to work on dispelling what is what before we start buying our own truths into that. As a black man growing up, it was kind of tough. Mental health is very new to me. When I say very new, probably within the last 2 years, I finally like, okay, this mental health is real. Okay, seriously. But as a black male growing up, I remember playing like Little League football. You'll get hurt. You'll get your bell rung, like they used to say. And what's the first thing you hear coming out of the stands? Get up, you're all right, nothing wrong with you. Get
masculinity.
Up, yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh man,
so
it's a big
that role that
it's
you had to take on. And it stuck with me for so long that no matter what, oh, you're all right, you'll get up. You're all right, you get up. I get my feelings hurt. I can't cry about it. I'm all right. I'll get up, dust it out. And the thing is, I just kept, pushing it down, suppressing it. And then, honestly, one day I just had like an eruption. Like I was in the military, someone said the wrong thing to me, and man, it was off. Like,
did you put your hands on them? Did you put your paws on them?
I was ready to break a man's nose, man. But I had to get restrained. And the thing is, what that person didn't realize is, I'm attacking you not by what you said, but I'm attacking you with all this repressed.
Something internal you're dealing with.
Yes, and so I think for black men, I can't speak for all of us, but I think for a good majority of us, this mental health thing is like new, as in like last mango season though.
I completely agree. For me, it's been about the last 2 years, and I think the culture, and I think the climate that we're in, we're focusing more on mental health. So it sparks an interest in me to do research on it. I've done research on it, and I found that I grew up in a lot of environments that required me to be masculine. When I should have been just naturally emotional about it, and talk about it and share it, and it built up a lot of anger in me growing up. Where again, you explain football, how you got hit, they tell you to get up and be a man about it.
Right.
They tell you to be a man about it. And the thing is, what is being a man about it?
I don't even know, bro.
Taking care of business, what's the true definition behind that? And I was always told that whenever something bad happens to me or I fail, be a man about it. And I'm wondering, like,
Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
Just be a man about it.
And screw that song. So it's something that's very, very important in this day and age, and it is new, and we're still learning about it as people are doing more research on mental health. So I did mention that you are a dad.
Yes.
And we did spoke about this recently on your podcast.
Yes.
And so tell me some of the things of fatherhood that has taught you how to be a better human being, because I am not a father, but I do mentor. But just actually having someone blood of your blood, someone who is a smaller you, and seeing them go through the same things that you went through when you were younger, and just wanting so much for this particular person to be the best version of themselves. So tell me about that.
Well, for me, I have gone through a lot with trying to raise my son. We co-parent. His mother and I are not together. We broke up like within his first year being before he turned 1. We were already broken up, and that was a strain. Throughout the years, man, I've been very selfish. I've been selfish with my emotions. I've been, I'm doing this in life and they need to accommodate me. I always felt entitled. They owe me. I pay child support, they owe me. And it took a lot of growing up, and I got to a point where I just stopped having the self-pity and stopped being a damn victim, and owned up to some of the stuff I contributed to that situation.
Question, when did that transition start? What particular moment you realized? Was it when you started to become a teacher, or it started before that?
Actually, just like it was like an epiphany. It probably hit me when my son was like 13 years old.
13? Okay.
He turned 13. He's 14 now. And let's not get it twisted. I've always been there for him.
Yeah.
I've always provided for him.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I didn't know how to connect. And what made me think about it most is like when I would talk to him, it was like one-word answers. It seemed like he wasn't even emotionally invested in talking to me. He's like, the body language that he gave me is just like, hey, I'm just here because I'm supposed to be here. This is your time, so let me just be with you. And I felt like I was like, wow, how did we get to this point? And I had to own that I've contributed to why he reacts to me the way he reacts to me. And by watching him, I think I was actually watching myself, because my son was just like kind of like cavalier about things, and to me, I was like, man, he's being selfish. And I was like, wait a minute, but you were being selfish all these years because you were trying to chase your career, do all this other stuff, and just like, yeah, I paid the child support, I give him the money, da 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 da. But I never was invested in my son.
Gotcha. That's deep, man. That's deep. And it takes a lot for a man, especially to just have that conversation with yourself where you say, you know what? I've been providing. I've been doing all these things. But I'm still selfish. And from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like you're selfish. But internally, you're speaking to yourself. You're having a conversation with yourself, and you know. And you're always the hardest person to be real with is yourself sometimes. That's the hardest conversation to have. And you know, there are times where I'll have conversations with myself and I'll say, man, am I really, being genuine about this? So respect to you, man, for doing that.
Yeah.
Respect to you for doing that. So you have a podcast.
Yes.
BreakTime. You're a father. You're pursuing a Ph.D.
Yes.
What is next for Corey LeGrand? What is next? What's next for you next year? Maybe even 5 years. Tell me what's next. What you working on, brother? I want to know. I want to know.
Well,
because maybe I could partake into it. You see, this brother got it going on. You see the nice jacket, the lapel pit.
Coming from church.
So I'm looking rough today, but it's all good. It's all good. We gonna get this. The show must go on. So yeah,
that's fine.
So what's next, brother?
Well, right now I've been given the opportunity, which is awesome. I'm a national ambassador for the U.S. District Courts, well, federal courts, and they fly me around to different courts throughout the United States of America, and I train people.
Free flights.
Free flights, yeah.
First
They get
class?
the mileage.
Damn.
They got me a coach, and I'm hurting my knees every time I'm flying.
Maybe you can negotiate that.
They
They make you fly Spirit?
No.
Okay, cool. As long as they don't make you fly Spirit.
No. You're doing a little bit better budget-wise than that. Spirit's the bottom of the line. That's a whole other conversation there. What I see after this, honestly, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy educating people. Hopefully, man, you can put me on via, college professors one day.
Oh, absolutely. You got my phone, man. If I see an opening, I got you. Because to be honest with you, and I didn't mention it, Corey's the reason why I ended up in the classroom. If it wasn't for him, I would have not been a high school teacher teaching business at a high school, which eventually led to me being a college professor at Bethune-Cookman University. So I am very, very grateful for this brother because he planted a seed and all I did was just water it. But if he didn't plant that seed, I would not be where I'm at right now. So I'm grateful.
We were just talking.
So, I mean, you said maybe possibly at a university.
Yeah,
anything
definitely.
else?
Really just focus on just working in my community now. Definitely my focus is, well, my dissertation. I'm not going to tell you all in case somebody working on that dissertation. I want them still in line.
True.
But my focus really is is on the black culture. Those of us with learning disabilities. Right now, mental health is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I think our kids are in a better position of getting the strategies and help that they need that are struggling with a learning disability. My main concern is those of Generation X. Generation X are those that were born from 1963 to 81-ish?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay, he's a marketing guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
With those new studies that are coming out for those with learning disabilities, that particular group was like in their teens, middle school during that time. They missed those strategies. And a lot of them are taking up a significant population of unemployment. So the question now becomes is it motivation? I mean, we already know that they haven't gotten it, but what is motivating these people to not pursue work or not trying to get a job? Because again, unemployment. Is it because they are so disabled that they're unable to get there? But everybody has to understand that there are so many different types of learning disabilities where there could be functional people, very functional, but just have dyslexia, which is hard to tell. They can have, they can be autistic.
Yeah.
They can have, what's that one? Asperger's. You know, have that as well. So it's a lot of different types of disabilities that are out there that prohibit people from getting work or staying gainfully employed, because we have employers that have this expectation And if I struggle with linguistics, there's no way I'm gonna get through this application.
Yeah.
But I could do the job,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't get through the application part. There's nothing there.
There's a lot of that going on.
Exactly.
Absolutely a lot
So
of that.
that's really what my passion is, definitely writing books and just getting more involved with Florida's vocational rehabilitation program.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll come to a close here. Corey, thank you.
Thank you
I
for having me.
can't thank this brother enough for sitting down with me and sharing the things that he's doing or the things that he's went to get to this point in life. So this won't be the last time you see Corey LeGrand. I can promise you he will be on Words, Wine, Into Purpose. Again, special edition now.
Yeah.
Words, Beer, Into Purpose.
Sally, give us
Next
a chance.
time, I promise I'm gonna have some, let's see, maybe some White Zinfandel or some Merlot or some Cabernet. We'll see.
I'm down
But
for it.
stay tuned. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure you like the video because I promise more new content coming out in the future. Stay tuned.